Hello everyone, I'm Par, and today I continue playing Seablock. Last time, in the last episode, you might remember, but I've constructed the spot of the base. Well, not of the base, but we came up with the design for the rail network. And to be honest, I like this one. I think it will work just fine. And now I need to connect like all this rails and build them around the city block. The problem is that I don't actually have intersection, and sorry, I am coughing. I'm coughing quite a bit recently. So the problem is that, yeah, as I said, we don't have intersections, and the intersection that I like to use is Celtic knot intersection. The tiny issue with that is that I'm not importing blueprints. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to, let's say, try to reconstruct the blueprint by just like, building it kind of right here. How should we do that? Okay, that's fine. I just want to center the rails. Okay, this is centered, and this one's... Okay, let's center them. These are the rails. I don't actually need these things. So how does Celtic knot intersection works? It kind of looks like a Celtic knot, you know. Yeah, let's say something. So I'm using left-hand drive, and oh, by the way, I will totally be looking, say, on the side monitor when trying to reconstruct. So I know that, like, first thing is you connect, basically you make this kind of connection and you turn it, do it 4 times, except it didn't quite work for us. So there's supposed to be like some room in between. So this can be fixed by... It's kind of interesting. So I guess I should connect it like this, right? Is this the way? Let's see. So let's try to copy it. We copy it here, here, and here. And hopefully this is right in the center. Let's double check. Because everything is supposed to be symmetrical. Yeah. This looks like it. I don't actually need this part. So this is the base, kind of base thing for the Celtic knot intersection. And another thing that's missing is this kind of connections, except... okay, let me think. So the way I like to think about them is that we are placing a signal here for when the trains come back from the intersection. And what we actually want, we want to have rails kind of crossing, I guess, right before the signal. Maybe here. So somewhere here. Can I merge them in? I cannot. That's bad. That means that this location is wrong. It means that I should have it here, and the signal was not in the right place, because this is what I want to do. question now. Okay, let's try to push it like this to make it super compact. Well, not quite, but you get what I'm saying. And like this. Is it good? I'm checking with the image. No, it doesn't look quite good. So I will do it like this. Yep, this seems to be more correct. Right, so let's just copy this part. That's basically the intersection, right? And now we just need to add, you know, some signals. Pretty straightforward stuff, honestly. Let's see. We probably this doesn't work. This because of this one. Let me cancel it. Okay, so it's not quite correct, it seems. Oh no, it worked. It was just like the signaling was wrong. Let's see. Coffee. Okay, let's try again this whole thing. Let's rotate it a couple of times. Let's assume we are going with this. It's not exactly what I have on like the side screen, but we'll come up with our own version of the Celtic Knot, because I kind of feel like I like this the way it looks so far. Right, this is the way to turn left, this is the way to go forward, and now the only trick is to signal it. Let's see whether we can actually do this. So first of all, this is the exit. Let's think about the entrance. So this is the entrance, and if I want to go forward, I want to wait, I'm actually if I want to go forward, I kinda want to have a signal here, but this thing doesn't look very nice, so let me change it a bit. What if I move it like this? Will I be able to place a signal? Alright, because if I move it like this part will move to the right, like this. So I actually will have space, hopefully. Let's move by one. We are moving this thing by one. And this thing is also getting moved by one. And I forgot to move this part, I think. So let's move it as well. Like this, right? So if I do it like this, I have barely some space for the signal here. So let me explain the signal in a bit, just so that everyone understands, you know, how intersections, like one of the ways of signaling intersections. The idea is that you, like, whenever you have a situation that you have the rails and you're like going somewhere and completely unrelated train gets in your way, for example here, this lanes from left to right, you want to wait before the crossing until there is enough space in like your route, wherever you're going, for you to kind of finish the crossing and stand there. And usually what that means for this kind of small unbuffered intersections is that after the exit, like once you exit from the intersection, after this exit signal, this is the signal that tells us where we're exiting. After the exit, there should be enough space for all. What is? I'm a bit surprised. This doesn't look quite correct. Did I forget to move the spot? Because it's supposed to go here. And this one is supposed to go here. Let me check whether it's actually, whether everything is looking good. Okay, so basically the idea is that we want the trains to wait here before the crossing until they're able to exit from the intersection. So intersections can be like buffered and unbuffered and whatever. It's essentially means whether there's like space between like each crossing, whether there is enough space for the train, or whether they have to go through the whole intersection. That's like the difference between buffered and unbuffered. This is unbuffered intersection. There is like in the middle we do not have a space for the train to kind of stand and wait. They can wait either before intersection or, you know, once they are past intersection. The expectation is that there should be enough space for them to stand. And this is the signal that will be telling us whether there is enough space behind, like after the intersection. So how do we make trains wait here until the crossing is fully done? Simple. We are using chain signal, right? Chain signal means that kind of wait here until there is enough space in this section, like in this section from here to here. So the train will be waiting right here. It will not enter the intersection because this is essentially just a fork before the entrance. I mean, the train is not blocking anyone by standing like either here or here, right? Because the trains who are behind the first train, they will stay behind. Right, so we place this signal, and this tells this train that it should wait before crossing. Good. Let's copy this signal like everywhere. Right, so we want the thing to be fully symmetrical. So we have 4 entrance signals, and we have 4 exit signals. Strictly speaking, this is a working intersection at this point. There will not be any deadlocks, because the trains, I don't know what is the problem. Okay, I don't know what's the problem. We also need to add, you know, the same thing here when they decide to enter it from the second kind of path. Okay, so now for real this time, this is a completely working intersection, and we should see all this blinking lights, like they should stop blinking like really soon. And where are my signals? Here they come. So we can check. They will stop blinking soon. Okay, I got a message, and I was reading the message, got a bit distracted. And as you can see, they stopped blinking, and you can actually take a look and see what, like how it looks like. Check this out. The entrances, like each segment, basically each connected segment, like block, it's called block, like of rails, gets a color. So we have one segment here, another this is entrance, exit, entrance, exit, entrance, exit, entrance, exit. We have 8 segments here and 1 in the middle. And it will work without any deadlocks, without anything, provided we leave here enough space for full length of our train. So this is really important. Like, we cannot have the second let's say, rail signal being here, or even chain signal for that matter. Like we cannot have any signal for at least full length of the train with wagons. So this is the closest we can actually place it, and it's gonna work with that. The problem is that if we have such coloring, then it's not possible for the train to go from here, from like, let's say from here, from west to east and from east to west at the same time. Because when they approach, when one train approaches this, oh, sorry, not this, it will go like this, right? When it approaches this signal and another train approaches that signal, only one will be allowed to enter like the middle section. And that's bad, right? That's not what we want. So in order to kind of fix that, and why we have like this funny routing, it's basically done in order to split the middle part of the intersection into smaller components, like as much as we can. And you can see we actually have lots of space here. We have like space for 1, 2 times 4 for like 8 signals. And you know what? We are gonna use it because the idea is that, and we'll be using chain signals for the same reason, because these signals are kind of intermediate signals between our first chain signal that we placed here and the exit rail signal. So there is not much room to place like single to split up this block, so it's kind of works out to be pretty straightforward. But in general, when you do this, if you have multiple positions, let's say you want to play, like you can place signal here and here, you probably want to place it closer to like the entrance. Like you don't want to place it like further down the rail. You want to place it closer, because the way it's gonna work, like if you care about throughput of the intersection, because how it's gonna work is when the train comes, it will wait at this signal until the whole path until this point is clear, and then it will start moving, and then it will pass the intersection, it will get here, and what you'll see is that the tail wagon of the train will be moving here. And what we want to clear, like allow these trains, like horizontal trains, to start going as soon as possible. That means that we need to react to the wagon moving forward as soon as possible. That's why we, like, if there are multiple options, we would actually want to place chain signal closer to this one. Actually, ideally, we would also want to place it somewhere here, because this way we are unblocking kind of this right turn from here to here, but we cannot unblock just the direction from this side, from right to left, by placing signal here. This is unfortunate, but you know, the distance is not that great. Like instead of getting unblocked here, it will be unblocked like 3 tiles further down. It's okay. Like, it's not ideal, but the intersection is still pretty compact, and I expect it to work pretty well. And yeah, exactly the same thing happens here when we start from this side and want to make a right turn. What is happening here? We don't have choice. We have to cut it here, right? You can see there is like no real other option. But again, ideally we would want to place a chain signal here, right after this rail, right after this rail, and right after this rail. And on the exit we have a regular non-chain signal. So we don't have any choice here. We're just placing it like this. To be honest, I kind of like building this intersection. It's the first time I'm building specifically like a compact Celtic knot intersection. That's the name of this left-hand drive version. It's not the fastest one. It has like throughput of 40 or something trains per minute. I'm not sure which length. I'm assuming 1.4 or 2.4. So quite a bit longer than the trains we are using here. But, you know, whatever. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. So let's wait for the robots to place all the signals, and we will check how the signaling works. Well, not signaling, but how the segments are looking. By the way, note that we're still missing the signal. Once we get it, it will be nicer. So check this out. Now the important part is that when the train's going straight through, they do not interact with each other. Like this train can come here, it will reserve this, I guess it's like purple or whatever the color is, purple and yellow, but it will reserve it. And this train that comes from west to east, it will reserve this purple and this yellow. So they will not actually interfere with each other. So the trains can basically, they can like do like turn right, and this one can make a right turn, and everything is going to work. Like, you see, it's yeah, that's basically kind of the intersection. You might have noticed a problem. There is a way to move straight. Sorry, I coughed again. There is a way to move straight. There is a way to turn to the right. But there is no way to turn left. And we kind of want to turn left. So let's add kind of bypasses that allow the trains to make a left turn. This is a pretty useful thing when you deal with trains. So how can we do that? I mean, in theory this would work, but I'm not sure I like it. I'm not sure I like that. So let's move it further back. Okay, I don't like that it takes so much space. Yep. So let's do it like this. And actually, I'd like to copy it, I guess. Let's just copy this spot. We copy this one, and let's copy the exit. Can we do it? Yeah, we should be able to. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Looks good. So this is our way of making left turn. And as you can see, like on left hand, like with left hand drive, left turn just ignores the thing. It's pretty efficient overall. And we are doing exactly the same thing here, right? We want, when we are moving there, we want to free up the previous, so let's assume we are moving from here, right? Let's assume we are moving from north to south. Well, not to south, we are moving from north and we want to south and we want to turn to the east. Like we want to make a left turn. And let's say after us there is another train. What we want to do, we want like when our train moves along the rails and turns here, we want to allow the next train to move forward as quickly as possible. And in order to do that, we need to split this single huge block. It starts from here and like goes here. We want to split it as soon as possible, as soon as the last wagon of our train moves past it. That means that we are placing the signal as far, as close to the entrance as we can, which is here. And that's basically it. And this is already enough for the intersection to work. Like, it doesn't matter where we place actually the signal, and we can place many signals here. I, like, in the intersection that I'm copying, like, the signal is placed just here, so there are like 2 of them. And I'm also going to keep it like this, because the idea is that you don't want to have too many blocks. It doesn't serve any particular purpose. But by placing a second one somewhere here, you kind of do the same trick. As soon as the train leaves the spot and actually like moves forward, it will free up the section and the train can start moving a little bit earlier, right? It might still get like stuck on this on the signal, and there's not enough space to not enough room to let the other train to go through, but it's okay. It still kind of allows the next train to start getting acceleration just a little bit sooner. Right, so again, like this, the signals, they're kind of optional, and it could be just one signal placed anywhere here. it will work just fine. Or if you place some signals here, say if you have a signal here, this will also be fine. You don't need this one. So there are ways, and we might actually have to adjust this part a little bit, because for the following reason. I have this... how does it look? This is in the very corners. So I need to check this part, and you know what? I'm not sure I like what I see. This might be a problem. Okay, let's try to fix it. So I need to make sure that this part of our rails is able to connect to the intersection in like looking the way we built it. So the intersection would go like this. Actually, let me copy the whole one, because so why not? Right. So intersection will look something like this, something along these lines. I guess okay, there are enough rails. So this one, yeah. So that's the problem. That is the problem. So the problem here, let me show you, is that this is entrance into the block. It doesn't allow to, like, it doesn't connect nicely. This one is easy to fix, right? So we can just do something, you know, something like this. And it will work just fine. I mean, like, completely fine. It's exactly the same thing. Like, there is really no difference at all between this kind of exit and what we did here. There is a simple merge with, let's say, we'll place a signal right here or something. That's straightforward. The part that I'm concerned about a bit is this one. So what we want to happen here, we want rails that are going from here, sorry, trains that are going from here to be able to we want them to be able to go here. Oh, this is tricky. Okay, so this is the original intersection, and this is the one that we are trying to kind of adapt this one to our game. Okay, this part, not this one. Okay, this looks good. Here I have an issue. I see an issue. This thing, it does not connect. You can see it. So the trains coming from here, they do not have a straight path. They can only turn. And this is bad, because we don't want trains to take the the train station kind of platform, this train stop path, in order to move forward. We don't want that. So I feel, I mean, you remember, right, how we had to move this part to the right in order to make room for this signal. I mean, maybe it's possible to place it. I think it was possible to place it in a slightly different position, but let's not go there. Let's not try to redesign this intersection. Let's try to keep kind of the original one. But what are our options, really? What are the options that we have? And the thing is, we don't have that many options. We can move this part back by 2 tiles, right? Let's move it back by 2 tiles, and this one. Yes. Wait. Like this. We moved it back a bit. We can move this spot back. Already moved this one. Okay, this way we have the connection. Except this one, I guess. This is not looking great. Okay, we can fix this. This is the exit. Left turn for the exit. This is fixable. This is fixable. We can just move it. And try to make it a bit nice. We can create a direct path here. Just like, you know, direct path. And if we add a turn, I think this will be a good turn, right? Question is, can I place signal here? I hope I can. I'm not sure I like how this ends up looking. But it's okay. It should be functionally the same, right? We have straight path, curve. This is looking good. And we have, you know, this thing. Okay, so this part, let's say we fix this part. It should be working. Now, ideally, I would want to keep my design symmetrical. I don't want it to be kind of strange. And this one doesn't look that good so far. Because here we don't have enough space for the rails. What should we do? I mean, we could move it a bit. Actually, let's try to do this. Let's try to move this part a tiny bit. Like this. Yeah, I will figure these things out later. So I moved it a bit. But the thing is that we don't actually have to keep this one looking like this. If I don't want them to touch, I can make them like avoid touching. Something like this. Let's see. Let's observe this. It might look a bit funny. I guess you could say so. But if it works, it works, right? Okay, so let's see. We have enough space. We have enough space. Enough space. Barely enough space, but it's enough, you know. That is enough. What is the problem is that we can't move it side to the left. I mean, we can move it probably way more to the left. I mean, yeah, we can totally do it like this. So, let's see. This part. Let's delete this block like this, and let's copy this one here. Right. So how do I want it to look? I guess like this. Okay. Do I have enough space for RoboPort? Oh, nice. In theory, I can actually place RoboPort here. You know, I like how it looks. Actually symmetrical. Yep, it is. I like this. This is our new design. We're going with this one. Not the one that we had the last time. Okay, let me just double check that everything is indeed correct, because I don't want to change this kind of designs later on. So we have enough space for 2 full lengths of the train. We have space here. We have space here in the stacker. This is stacker, right? This is train platform, and we have stacker for 1 more train. We, like, it doesn't matter in which direction the trains go. There is enough space for them to... Why do we have the signal? There is enough space for them to stop. And here... Oh, I guess we could check it from this side. Here we have enough space. I don't like this. I don't really like this. I want it to be like this, but then there isn't enough space after the signal. Interesting. But then why would I place a signal here? Or, better question, why don't I move it a little bit forward to create a full buffer here? Because check this out. There is almost enough room for 1 more train. Let me try to move it a little bit forward. Let's say by 1 tile. So this could improve the intersection a little bit. Like whenever your intersections have a buffer, it makes them better. So yes, so this way we actually introduced a buffer. Well, not like really a buffer because it just exit. So I guess it doesn't count. But I still feel like it's nice because this way this train trying to make a left turn can actually go ahead and clear this path from north to south for like some other trains, even if some other train is like finishing crossing the intersection. Right? It can still clear out and like kind of give way in a way for the train that comes right behind it. So the question now, back to my initial question, can I? I cannot. But at least this way the sign will line up. Unfortunately, I cannot place signal here because we need to keep a full length of the train right there. So it will have to be here. It's okay, it's fine. The important part is that there's still enough room for full train after this, and this segment and this segment are split into different blocks, and this one. So there are like lots of ways how you can place signals on like merges and on splits for that matter as well. If you end up with like 3 segments, you did a good job. Right, so pretty much any placement actually of the signal works. Yeah, I think it ends up being like any placement works. Let's move this part. We are moving it by 1 tile. And this signal should still work with this lane. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, it works. The paths got highlighted. Nice! So that's basically how our stuff is gonna look like. Let me copy this spot somewhere. So this is the original. And here we'll have an updated version, like our version of the thing. And by thing I of course mean the intersection. It ends up looking a little bit larger, but that's not really a problem. Right, the fact that it's a bit larger, it's okay. The important part is that we managed to connect those things, and actually, one thing that I have not really pointed out, but this connection will also work if we use it like properly, because the proper use, in this case, like the proper way it should end, well, not end, but the proper way it should look from this side, I guess. Let me try this. Like, this is the normal kind of way the road looks like if we don't place any intersection. Or, I don't know, like this. And the good part is that we can still take this, check this out, and connect it to the spot. And everything will work out. We'll wait for the robots to build, like to finish building the spot. So all of this will work just fine once the robots bring the materials. So the important things to check here is that we have enough room. We have enough room for full train, and that here we have enough room for full train. I mean, it's symmetrical, it's kind of obvious that it will be the case. So that is how our side of the block, how the side of the block is going to look like. And this is, okay, it's not finished. Let me try to finish it a bit. This is how our intersections are going to look like. Well, maybe I should make it a little bit nicer, right? Do I need to make it a bit nicer? I guess I do, right? I think I could say I have to. If you're talking about intersections, they should be nice ones. Oh. Let me copy this whole part again. So I copied this part. I placed it here. Without this one, obviously. Without this one. And now this is not needed. So I was worried exactly about this part, that we have some rails that don't seem to be needed. Right, that's basically our blueprint for the intersection. And we can copy this part of it. You know what? Should I delete this one? No, I'm not gonna delete this. I will just relocate it here. Okay. Now we have lots of room. So let's take this thing. Let's delete the extra pieces that we didn't really need. Wow. Designing rail intersections. Life. No, not this one. This one stays. And now, let's make sure it's actually clear this area a little bit. I don't need this one, right? Oh no, I don't. Let's put them there. Let's make sure it has exits on all sides. And it basically looks nice. So the problem is that something didn't quite work out. So I copied this part and I want to place it here, like this. Right. The issue is this turn. It's wrong. So I'm not gonna touch it. For now, we will not have it. And we will not have this signal. The right way is gonna be like this. Like this. Okay, so now we just need to connect these things. And we can totally do it by... I'll remove a couple of things here. We can totally do it like this. 1, 2, 3 copies, and the fourth is the original one. So I think that is it. I think that is our intersection, except I messed it up again. I'm messing it up too much. It's okay. It is okay. Okay. This we need to fix, and this part we need to fix. And we'll copy it from here again. Copy and again. Okay, let's observe how it looks. Kinda huge intersection. Very large, to be honest. But it's kinda a bit custom built for this rail segment. It's built in order to, like, we wanted both to achieve two things, so that the segments can just connect to each other. So don't have to include like one side in the blueprint. Just kind of fully symmetrical, etc., etc. Which is not needed, by the way, with the layout that I'm going for. So we actually have quite a bit more room for like doing stuff here. They don't have to be symmetrical, like this side. The whole line from here to here needs to be symmetrical, but not half of it. And I also wanted to make it in a way that this like the connection is just kind of works as a drop-in, right? You take this, you drop it here, and it just connects with everything. Just connects. Or I guess a better way to say it would be here, right? We'll drop it here without the spot. So we drop it here and it just connects. It builds some rails that I needed to make like left turn from here, from the trains going here to the left. It just works like this, right? It just works. I like it. Let's double check a couple of things. First of all, I want to make sure that it's built fully. Everything should be divisible by 4. 58, it's what? It's like 40 and 18. I'm not sure why the number of rails looks like this. So we have 16 and 24 signals. This is great. I'm not sure. Could it be? Oh, look at this. We have extra rails. That is the problem. I don't want this extra ones. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Put it from here. Let's try again. Okay, 56. If we divide it by 4, it's gonna be 16. Nice. So I think this is the way. Just to make sure, I'm gonna rotate it a couple of times and plop it down. Nice. This is gonna be our intersection that we'll use from now on. Let's make a blueprint for this one. blueprint. We don't need this one. No need for this. No need for toilet inserter. Okay, let's call it. How do we call it? Let's say. I don't know. How do I usually call intersections? Say vanilla default. Rails. Right, I played this game without, I think maybe here, vanilla, Rails. I'm just calling it cross. So yeah, that's basically, I think it's pretty close to the original from where we started. But I wasn't using this blueprint. I wasn't even looking at this particular one, but it's supposed to be exactly the same intersection. I think it is. I'm not importing blueprints. Everything is on the recording. I just want to save it. Right, I wanted to look at the image. How do I tend to build images? Okay, times 4, I guess it's clear. It's trials, right? That's how I do it. I want to keep consistency, even if I don't remember what exactly the consistency is about, like this, and say that it's a 4-way intersection, and I want to call it city block cross. Because actually, I want to also snap it to grid. Because we know that we'll be placing it only in here. No, not 60, let's say 30 or something. 30? No. 30. Does it look correct? No. Oh, this is the way, right? This is a Celtic knot. Say, hallway. Let's see. We have everything here, and including double ports that we don't need. Let's get rid of them. This is it, I think, and I'm gonna place it here. This is the first blueprint, which I want to place it here, that we built. And another thing that I want to blueprint is actually this one. Let's delete the spot. Delete the spot, and let's copy it from here. Right. So this is the second part that I want. And maybe I actually want it, maybe even with tiles. Let's see. This thing, it goes straight. There's like some room for it to go straight. I'd like to take a couple. No, not a couple, just one. Just one will do. Okay, let's build another blueprint. Let's take all of this. Maybe including the tiles. I kind of want to include tiles in here. I don't know whether it's a good idea or not. Let's call it like rail and something like I don't know how to call it, and which icons to use. I guess I don't know, let's say 1. So it's lots of rails, and this is version 1 in a way. And we'll call it a Seablock site. This is one site. We'll say snap to grid 32, 32. That's the size of the tile, right? Let's say 30. 30. That's the size of the chunk, sorry. And here, I think I need to tell it like 2 or something. 32. 34. Yep, this looks better. And I also want to include tiles, I think. Except these ones. I don't want these tiles. I want it to be like really, really nice. So this is pretty nice, I think. Let's create blueprint. Let's check that it works. Yes, it's placed correctly. We will drop it here, and let's check that this one is also connected correctly. Yeah, so they snap to grid and to the correct grid of that. Imagine that. If I swap it... Nice! So, we have our first two... I want to rename this one. Can I do it? Yeah. I want to rename it. I would say it's a 4-way intersection, right? Maybe. I guess X stood for cross. I guess 4-way cross also works. Nice. So we have the blueprints, and we spent on this 1 hour. However, from now on, it's just gonna work. You know, we did what we wanted. It all connects. I haven't tested it, but it should work, right? Why wouldn't it? To be honest, it's not actually finished. Like another reason why I placed like sign 1 here is because I wanted to use as a baseline kind of template blueprint that I stamp around the base like this when I'm just trying to build city blocks, right? I'll just stamp it around, and like the train stations here, train stops, I'll actually probably drop them from the blueprint at some point, because those would have to be part of the actual builds. Like builds for the loader, like provider consumer stations. But at least like the basic thing, the basic buildings, I want them to be done like this. Another thing I want to maybe be done as part of the basic blueprint is actually a power connection, because this is not connected to any power. Yeah, so that was a pretty long section, very long episode, but I think it's slowly looking better and better. So we got the first, like the start of the grid, of the rail grid. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Cheers!